Sarah's blog has an entry for manner tips. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to read through some of those and discuss some things I might need some help on. And I'm going to ask your opinion on some things. Let's talk a little bit about her manner tips for men. I'm going to read them through quickly, and then we're going to go back and discuss some of them. Number 1, be on time. If you're running a little late, text or call her and then apologize for making her wait. Number 2, sincerely compliment her when she arrives. It often takes time and energy to get ready for a date and let her know that you appreciate her efforts. 3, if it's a first date, men should offer to pay, especially if you invited her out. Some women don't feel comfortable letting men pay for them, but it is essential that you offer because dating can be expensive. Sarah will list some inexpensive, great dating ideas.
Awesome.
4, be courteous to waiters and doormen, etc. 5, always open the door for your date. If you're riding in a cab, you can slide in first so she doesn't have to scoot across the seat, especially if she's wearing a skirt. 6, give up your seat on public transportation to elderly people, pregnant women, small children, stuff like that. 7, ask her questions about herself and listen to her answers. Genuine interest in her life will show her that you are a considerate person. 8, avoid discussing anything sexual in nature on a first date. What am I going to talk about? That's most of my material. Also refrain from talking about ex-girlfriends, traumatic life events, medical issues, etc. Providing too much negative information too soon will squash your chances of a romantic future. 9, at the end of the night, help her hail a cab or drive/walk her home. And 10, if you would like to see her again, don't wait 3 days to call. It is perfectly acceptable to phone her the following evening to schedule your next date. Okay, compliment her when she arrives. I think this one kind of goes both ways.
Absolutely.
I've been out with a woman a few times. I do what you say. I make sure to compliment, and I don't get that in return for a few days, a few dates, I should say. And nowadays, today's man cares about what he looks like.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to get that, just a token every once in a while.
Especially if you're putting in any effort, a little
exactly,
bit or a lot.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, I don't know, I think that that one
As long as you don't show up in sweats, she should absolutely make a comment.
Yes. The paying thing, which we've talked a lot about on the show. I think, my personal opinion is no matter who asked who out, first date, even the first couple, 3, the man should pay.
I agree.
That's just kind of my feeling. So, if any ladies out there want a free meal, they can pretty much know they can ask
You can
me.
get in touch with us.
Exactly. So that's kind of my, and I think the offer for a woman to pay, I think, is not mandatory, but it's nice.
Yes, absolutely.
Just because, for the sole reason that it kind of shows to me that she's not expecting to be...
Shows appreciation that you've done this. It's
Goes a long
nice.
way. As George Costanza once said, just give me a reach.
The reach.
I mean,
it could be fake.
You have to do the reach.
Seriously, I don't care, yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I also think, and tell me from a female's perspective, if the guy accepts, doesn't that kind of tell you a little bit, honestly, doesn't that...
I can't speak for all women. Some women really feel strongly that they want to pay their way, and that's fine. It's important to really listen to what a woman's saying. If you say, I'd like to pay, and she says, no, I really feel strongly I would like to pay my part, then you let her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 7, ask her questions about herself and listen to her answers.
Seems simple.
What's that?
It seems so simple.
It is very simple, actually. Yeah. But you'd be surprised, and this is in the goes both ways categories, how it doesn't matter male or female, how many people don't do that.
Right.
And, been in situations where I'm kind of like, don't you want to know anything about me? Like, well, I said it to myself, because she's just not asking any questions about me. And come to find out later, it's not because she's not interested. It's just, it's kind of dating etiquette. I don't know what you would call it, but.
Yeah, I've been on dates before where it's, you give something up about yourself because you're trying to be interesting, and then because I try to ask questions like we just said, and sometimes you'll say something about yourself because they may have asked one question, and that's it. They don't want to know anymore, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm pretty interesting, maybe I'm not, but it's nice to get it back and forth, I think. A little bit of conversation going.
If you would like to see her again, don't wait 3 days to call. It's perfectly acceptable to phone her the following evening to schedule your next date. I have mixed feelings about this, and I want to get into that in a minute, though, in another area of stuff that we were talking about. So there's Sarah's manner tips, very spot on, I think.
Thank you.
I think so.
Well, very well done.